Hey everyone, GuardianE here with another live reaction and first impression video for Fire Emblem Heroes, and tonight we should be getting the reveal trailer for the next set of seasonal units. Hotly anticipated, most likely to be the next set of bridal units, given the theme from last year, and the fact that we have confirmed that the bridal reruns are happening this month. So you can see the silhouettes right over here. The silhouette on the left looks suspiciously like Fjorm. I will admit that it's a little bit small in stature, but I wouldn't take that to necessarily mean anything. Depending on the pose that it is, if it's the damaged art or the attacking art, it could be crouching or doing something else. So I have a feeling that it's Fjorm. I also get some Setsuna vibes from it for some reason. I don't know what it is. Something about the hair. So those are my two guesses for the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, the silhouette looks a little bit more on the male side of things. So could be one of the grooms. So they could be doing an actual mix for the gacha rather than designating the groom to the free unit. We'll just have to kind of see. Maybe they'll have more even distribution of gender. But if it is a male, the hairstyle it reminds me a lot of either Soren or Leon. We did just get a seasonal Soren, so I don't really think we'll be getting another one, but regardless, we'll be seeing in just a couple of minutes, so let's wait for that trailer to drop and watch it together for the first time. Okay, here we are. The bridal banner is here. Bridal Belonging. We can see the title right there. Did not see the thumbnail. Do not know who's on the banner. And I'm pretty excited for this one because the bridal banners usually bring along some pretty fantastic art. So fingers crossed that holds true today as we see the reveal for the next set of seasonal special heroes. So let's play. Alright, dressed up for the occasion. Who? Oh, hey, there's Fjorm at the bottom there, I see. Forthright Heart. Tanith. Okay, she's a flyer. Lofty Blossoms. Harsh Command Swift Sparrow 2. So we're still... Okay, so she's a Lancer. Next, we've got Steadfast Bride.
I am Sigrun.
Sigrun.
Suddenly a bride, it seems.
Okay. Oh, another flyer. Okay. Cake Cutter Plus. Oh, man. Looks like an Ether Raid specific A-slot skill. She's going to be a sword flyer. And we do have Fancy Fiance, a groom on the banner. Pent. I know a lot of people have been waiting for. He is a Cavalry Blue Mage, it looks like. Comes with dull ranged. Pulse Smoke. Let's see what that's all about. I can guess. That's cool. It's like a champagne effect. Okay, and Bride of Rime. We are going to be getting Bridal Fjorm.
I would be very happy.
Flying Healer. Okay. And looks like she has a full kit here. Comes with Dazzling. Nice. Bridal Belonging, Paralog Story. Okay, so keeping in line with the bridal banners, let's take a quick pause here and see if there is somebody new. Wait, there is. Who is that in the corner? So the Cavalry Archer there. I have no idea who that is, and I really can't tell based on the sprite. If any of you have any ideas, please let me know in the comments. I apologize in advance. Unfortunately, I don't know who that is, and these are raw reactions. I don't look on the in-game news. I don't look at the Reddit or the site to see who the reveal is, so I don't know who that is, but it does look like we're going to be getting a Cavalry Archer, a free Cavalry Archer, probably through a Tempest Trial event. So let's keep going. Alright, so special heroes are here, available from the 21st of May all the way until the 21st of June, so they are going to be here for a full month as usual. One of each of the colors is represented, so there is even distribution of focus units, meaning that they all have the same rate of 5 stars. Okay, so pretty exciting. I know a lot of people are going to be excited about Pent. He is definitely a curveball in there, being a male unit on the bridal banner, as well as just being a fan favorite that people have been asking for a while now. It's also fairly unusual that none of these seasonals are alts except for Fjorm. So Fjorm is the only non-new introduced character into Fire Emblem Heroes, which is a little unique. Now, the Bridal Banner has had a history of introducing new characters, like Charlotte, for example, but But all the same, this is definitely unprecedented to see this many kind of brand new characters introduced as alts on a single banner. And I don't know how that's necessarily going to be received. I think it's fine as long as down the line, they introduce these characters as a regular units. They haven't done so yet for Charlotte for some reason. I don't know why. But for example, with Shigure was first introduced in the game as an alt, as a seasonal unit, and then his regular version was brought in later. So as long as they do that, I think everybody's going to be happy. Hopefully people that have been waiting for these units are just happy that they're in here to begin with. So let's back up the tapes, take another closer look at these characters, their art, take a look at their skills, and see what they bring to the table. Yeah, definitely some unusual picks, I will say. But the art's pretty good. Okay, special heroes to battle. Yeah.
The lens on my outfit is none of your concern. Focus on battle, not bridal gowns.
They did redesign the bridal gown a bit, at least. If you take a look at the original seasonal bridal banner and then the second seasonal bridal banner, pretty much all of the brides are wearing the same type of dress except for Tharja. So it does look like they're adding some more intricacies to the bridal gowns just so that there's a little bit more differentiation at the least. So Tanith is a flying lancer, as most of you know. Flying lancers are kind of an overpopulated movement and weapon type combination. So let's see what she actually has here. So Lofty Blossoms Plus, it's going to be an inheritable lance. 14 might weapon. If unit initiates combat, grants attack speed +4 during combat. So it has built-in Swift Sparrow. That is not bad. So what that does mean, after the refine, if you end up refining either her attack or speed, she would actually get +6 attack, and I guess, and +7 speed on initiation. Swift Sparrow is a great skill, and having it built into Lofty Blossoms means that she can, of course, run Swift Sparrow as well on the A slot and get the benefits of that as well, and get a whole bunch of more additional damage on player phase. So for a strict player phase unit, it's not a bad lance, I guess. I will say it does have some steep competition. You've got Harmonic out there as well as Slaying, which are great lances for both phases, and then for player phase, you have Brave and Fire Sweep predominantly, which affords a whole host of different benefits. So I don't know if people are going to be chomping at the bit to use or to inherit Lofty Blossoms on anybody, but it does have a powerful skill. So Lofty Blossoms Plus doesn't blow me away, but it's still a powerful effect, and if you want a strictly player phase unit, you can definitely run it and then just kind of stack on the damage so that whoever your player phase unit is just doing tons of damage on player phase. Harsh Command Plus neutralizes target's penalties from skills like Panic, Threaten, and negative status effects, preventing counterattacks movement restriction that lasts through ally's next action, converts any penalties on target ally into bonuses. Harsh Command Plus. Okay, so we are actually finally getting Harsh Command Plus, so an improvement over the original Harsh Command. The original Harsh Command sees basically no use at all, for good reason. I mean, it's terrible, because for the most part, penalties that are inflicted on you are more than just stat debuffs, and oftentimes the biggest debuffs come in the form of Panic Ploy. And Harsh Command was ineffective about doing that. It looks like this new Harsh Command Plus neutralizes all penalties, which is great, including Panic, and then and of course also converts the penalties into bonuses. So definitely an improvement over the original Harsh Command. I don't know if tons of people are going to be using it, but now I could see this having some use in Ether Raids, just because there are debuffs everywhere in Ether Raids. There are structures that inflict panic. There's a Versa, naturally. There's these chill skills everywhere. They just introduced chill attack as a seal. They introduced these new structures that have like a mini chill effect for either offense or defensive stats. So, debuffs are all over the place. So Harsh Command Plus could actually, I think, see some use. If you have a dedicated Harsh Command user, that can actually make a big difference, I think, on your matchup if you're going into a particular map. Swift Sparrow 2 makes its return. It's a great skill, continues to be a great skill. I can't imagine Swift Sparrow 3 is too far away, so it's going to be overshadowed by the next tier of Swift Sparrow, but all the same, Swift Sparrow 2 is just a great offensive player phase skill to have. And the nice thing about it is that it's becoming more and more available, which means you can have it on more and more of your units. Chill attack 3 for the B slot. Chill skills are excellent. They are fantastic. The fact that it's attack and we just got the attack seal probably means that chill attack is one of the less prioritized chill skills that you'd be hunting for your units. But all the same, like I said, chill skills are always going to be nice to have. A map-wide debuff effect, -7 on the foe on the enemy team with the highest attack at the start of a turn. And then she also comes with Fortify Flyers, not a rare skill, but a great skill for Flyers, so having Flyer buffs in general is always just highly recommended on Flyers, so she does come with Fortify Flyers. The start of turn grants defensive res +6 to adjacent flying allies for 1 turn. Now let's keep going. See what Tanith's attack animation and art is like. It's pretty elegant, I like it. I like the effect. Alright, Steadfast Bride.
I am Sigrun.
Okay, Sigrun.
Suddenly a bride, it seems.
Picomorrow is again reprising their role of doing some brides. So she comes with Cake Cutter Plus. It's a sword, 14 might weapon. Looks like it has built-in Swift Sparrow as well. That is going to be the theme of this banner, which is not a bad theme at all. Ardent Sacrifice for the assist restores 10 HP to an ally, loses 10 HP. That's okay. People have used Ardent Sacrifice to get into certain HP threshold ranges for a while now. I've never found it to be particularly necessary, but it's there. Ether Raid Defense, Speed Defense 3 for the A slot. If defending in Ether Raids grants Speed and Defense +X during combat, X is calculated based upon the number of defensive structures. If more than or equal to 5 structures, grants +10, 4 grants +7, 3 grants +4, and less than or equal to 2 grants +1. Destroyed defensive structures are not counted. So at least grants a +1 to speed and defense, all the way up to +10, depending on the number of defensive structures that you have. Like I've said this before when they first introduced the Ether Raid specific skills. They have their uses. +10 on 2 stats is actually pretty great for both phases. The main issue being, 1, it's locked to Ether Raids, so you have limited utility for this skill, and 2, it's locked to 1 phase of Ether Raids, meaning it's either locked to your defensive team for Ether Raids or your player-controlled team for Ether Raids when you're going on the offense. So it's not... I think that these skills would have been much better if they were just Ether Raid skills, not Ether Raid defense or Ether Raid offense. As it is, I guess it serves its purpose as sort of an Ether Raid support, but I'm not terribly excited about these skills. They're going to introduce more of them, and I think they're just kind of there. I don't know if people are really going to be using them that often. Air Orders for the C slot. This is actually an excellent skill. At start of turn, grants the following status to adjacent flying allies for 1 turn. Basically, grants all flying allies flyer formation. A unit can move to a space adjacent to any ally within 2 spaces. Well, actually, not just flyer formation. It's flyer formation plus reverse guidance or whatever. So, Air Orders is just an excellent C-slot skill. I really want it, actually, for Ether Raids, because I think it's phenomenal. If you run flyers, super good. You can have really scary shenanigans and setups with Air Orders in play. So, yeah, definitely worth going for if you just want to bolster your defensive team. So a little bit of a mixed bag here. Air Orders is excellent. Me personally, I don't really care that much about the Ether Raid's defense or Ether Raid's offense A-slot skills. But all the same, I mean, if you care about Ether Raids and you'd be using her in Ether Raids, all of these skills are actually pretty good for that intended purpose. So not bad. Let's keep going. Cool. I like the flower effect. Okay, we're gonna get... Here's the fancy fiance himself, Pent. I like the art for him, too. It's definitely very Bishi. Okay, we've got Vessel of Cheer Plus, a 12 might blue tome. If unit initiates combat, has built-in Swift Sparrow. Rally up attack plus. Grants attack +6 to ally and allies within 2 spaces of unit, excluding unit for 1 turn. Yeah. I mean, they're trying to improve the rally attacks. I get it, or the rally skills in general. And it's a noble effort for them to do. Dull Range 3 for the B slot. I've always actually liked Dull Range 3. I've liked conceptually Dull Range 3. I think a lot of people look down on dull range 3 as an option, probably because it takes up a very important slot, but I actually like it. Obviously, it neutralizes any visible buffs on ranged units when they're attacking into him, so completely nullifies Blade Tomes, for example, and any other ranged unit that really just relies on those buffs. Okay, so this is interesting. Pulse Smoke 3 for the C slot. Inflicts special cooldown +1 on target and foes within 2 spaces of target after combat. No effect on special cooldown counts already at maximum. Really? Okay. So, wait, okay. Well, let's back it up here. So, Pulse Smoke 3, for one thing, looks like it's on a cavalry unit. So, in terms of the limitations of this smoke skill, I'm assuming that it can go on any type of unit. If it's going to be on cavalry, it probably means that it's not restricted to a movement type, so everybody can run Pulse Smoke 3. Inflicts special cooldown +1 on target and foes within 2 spaces of target after combat. So unlike a lot of smoke skills that only affect the units outside of the target, this affects both the target and the units outside of the target, which is good. And it just gives them a special cooldown +1. So it just basically gives them an additional, or takes away a charge for their specials, which is actually really good. It's situational, but it's actually very strong. It's basically kind of a worse Witchy Wand effect. Halloween Mia had Witchy Wand. She was a flying healer, and she had a very unique effect in that she could, with her staff, reduce or basically neutralize everybody's special cooldown charges to 0, so that they would basically be reset. And then for another thing, they would also be restricted from that turn. They would be inflicted with a debuff that would prevent them from getting any additional charges that turn while they're affected by that debuff. So Pulse Smoke doesn't do all of that stuff, but it does at least give everybody a +1 to their special cooldown charge. Now it says no effect on special cooldown counts already at maximum. So that caveat is kind of interesting. I'm going to assume, you could read it one of two ways, just because the way the wording works with the cooldown count, whether it's, when they say maximum, if they mean basically no charge or a full charge. I'm going to assume here what they mean is when they have no charge. So no effect on special cooldown counts already at maximum. I think, if I'm reading this right, what that means is that if they have no charge at all, so let's just say they have Ether as their special and it's already at 5 turns, then this Pulse Smoke will have no effect on them. They basically can't go into negative cooldown. They can't, Ether won't go to a 6-turn cooldown if you hit them with Pulse Smoke 3. I think that's what this means. The alternative would be kind of a weird restriction where it basically, as long as a unit has their special charge, they can't get one of their charges removed. I don't think that's the intended effect here. I think this is really just for instances where they don't have any charge at all. Pulse Smoke won't give them a negative charge. It won't basically give them more cooldown than their special actually allots for. But definitely not trying to downplay the usefulness of this C-slot skill, because there will be scenarios where you absolutely cannot get hit by an enemy special, by a Black Luna, by a Regnal Astra, by a Fire Emblem, by a Blue Flame, whatever it might be. You just need to avoid getting hit by a special, and this will let you do that. So I can definitely see this getting a lot of use. I think it's a very powerful skill and a very unique and interesting skill, and I'm glad that they added something like this into the game. So let's keep going. Alright. Very graceful looking there. And I do like the bubbly. I like the little bubbly effect. Okay, so we are going to get Fjorm, Bride of Rime.
My brother and sisters could see me now.
And Meishima is reprising the role as the artist. Pause here. Oh boy, look at this description. All of these descriptions. Galarbrew, I think, maybe, I guess. 14 might staff. It's going to be unique to her, so it's not going to be inheritable. Calculates damage from staff like other weapons. Okay, so it has a built-in Wrathful effect. At start of turn, if foe's HP is equal or less than HP -3 for the unit, foes in cardinal directions inflicts isolation on foe. Isolation target... The status effect of isolation. Target cannot use or be the target of assist skills through the next action. Oh, really? Target can neither use nor be the target of skills like dance, sing skills, and neutralize penalties like restore and harsh commands. Interesting. Oh my god. So I'm actually incredibly excited by this. So I've actually long wanted them to introduce dancer restrictions, or basically skills that will nullify or neutralize the effectiveness of dancers. It's a little bit selfish of me just because I don't use dancers, and everybody seems to use dancers. So I guess that's why, partly why at least, but I just think it creates some interesting scenarios if you're just limited to not using dancers. And the ability that she has here means that basically if she has a ploy skill, it's a new ploy skill of isolation. And isolation's effect is that you can't be danced and you can't dance. As long as, and the ploy condition is that the enemy unit has HP less than or equal to -3 of Fjorm's HP. So while that is exciting for her as a unit, and I think she could absolutely see some use, I think that she's going to be actually very powerful in Ether Raids. If you decide to pull for her and use her, she could be an incredibly valuable tool to basically nullify the enemy forces in terms of their ability to dance, Legendary Azura, all of that jazz. What's actually more exciting to me is the fact that they've introduced this type of skill at all, or this type of effect. And the reason for that is that means that they are going to introduce more skills in the future that will inflict isolation. And that, to me, is very exciting. So that's just very exciting to me, just because I think that does open up things a lot more. It's going to allow people to look beyond using dancers a little bit. And pretty much every single enemy defense team that I see in Ether Raids uses a dancer. So I think it just opens up opportunities a little bit more. It allows people to kind of think outside the box, and rather than default to keeping a dancer on their team, maybe they'll think up of different team compositions to put together in order to tackle content or create their defensive teams or what have you. So I'm actually pretty psyched about that. I'm actually probably more hyped about that than anything else on the banner right now. Is just the fact that isolation as a debuff exists. Restore plus for the assist, range 1. Yeah, I mean it's a great healing skill. She's a healer. HP attack 2 as her A slot. That makes a lot of sense, especially since her ploy skill, the isolation ploy, is based upon her HP. So you're going to want to boost her HP. Dazzling staff 3. For the whole Razzle Dazzle combination. For the B slot, foe can't counter attack, so she has the Razzle Dazzle combo. And Ground Orders 3. At start of turn, grants the following status to adjacent infantry, armored, or cavalry allies for 1 turn. Unit can move to a space adjacent to any ally within 2 spaces. So the ground version of Air Orders, that's pretty potent. It's interesting to me that the ground version of Air Orders is on a flying unit, though. You would think that you would want ground orders to be on a grounded unit, but I guess it's trying to be an extension of guidance. You can even see from the icon that it has like the little guidance hand on it, so I guess that's what they're going for, just in terms of hybrid teams. But I guess we'll see if it's actually locked to flyers or not. There's a chance that it's not, but I guess is going to see, I guess, more limited use than Air Orders, but they're both great skills. And they can definitely both create some pretty treacherous scenarios in Ether Raid defense. So let's keep going. See what Fjorm's attack is like. Yeah, I like the frost flowers. It's nice. Okay. Yeah, so here we are. Bridal Belonging, going to be the paralog story. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff. Sigrun has Air Orders, which I think is just a phenomenal skill. Pent has that pulse smoke, which I think is awesome. I think that's an amazing skill. And Fjorm is introducing a whole new debuff, which is just very exciting to me. As far as the units themselves, I'm personally not terribly excited. I don't know if I'm really going to be pulling very hard on this banner, really. I do know that there are a lot of Pent fans out there, a lot of fans of having a male representation on a bridal banner, so there might be a lot of people out there that are pulling for Pent, and he looks fantastic, and he does come with that really cool new skill. So if you're going to be pulling on this banner, I wish you the best of luck. Hope you get all of the units that you're looking for, but let me know in the comments who your target is and how many orbs you're planning on spending on this banner. So hopefully you enjoyed watching the video. If you did, please feel free to leave us a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more Fire Emblem Heroes content. We thank you so much for watching. We really do appreciate you taking some time out of your day to spend with us. And until next time, let's protect those skies.